Today, I simulated the remaining 6 Formula 1 races along with the remaining 3 sprint races to see who will actually take the World Drivers' Championship in F1 in 2024. Will it be Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, or maybe a long shot on Piastri? Stay tuned to find out. My name's Chris, welcome back to CF Racing, and enjoy the video. Hey everybody, what's going on? Chris here, otherwise known as CF Racing, and today I had a little bit of fun in F1 Manager when I was able to change almost everything in the entire game. So I created a 6-race calendar including the sprints of COTA, Mexico, Brazil, and then I went from COTA, Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, Qatar, all the way to Abu Dhabi to simulate the remaining races in Formula 1 to see if Lando Norris has any shot of a World Drivers title, or will it just be a Max Verstappen domination. So what I did, I went into the database editor and made the car performance as relevant as I possibly could going into what would be Circuit of the Americas next month. Then I let the game simulate all the developments and updates, and yeah, we'll see what happens going into the rest of the season. I got all the stats. I even did a little bit of driver transfers. Liam Lawson is in for Daniel Ricciardo. Obviously, Colapinto is in for Logan Sargent. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the simulation. And guys, please, hit that like. If you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, join the Discord. Links in the description down below. F1 Manager is so much fun, and man, I wish they would sponsor me. That would be fantastic. But with that being said, guys, enjoy the sprint of Qatar and all the way to Abu Dhabi. Race 1 was actually quite a fun one, as we had Charles Leclerc got off to a great start here in Circuit of the Americas as he took the lead heading into turn 1. Charles Leclerc did end up taking the lead with Verstappen actually overtaking Lando Norris to get into P2. Every car really did bring a bunch of upgrades heading into this weekend. Looks like Ferrari brought a pretty solid upgrade. Same with Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, and Lando Norris, he ends up going down into 3rd position here in the first lap. Not the ideal start for Lando, but there's still a lot of races to go here in the sprint race in Circuit of the Americas. But then again, it is the sprint. At the end of the sprint race, Charles Leclerc did end up taking the victory with a whopping 7.7 second lead in 19 laps to lead over Oscar Piastri, who is going to be finishing in P2. Pretty solid race for Piastri there. Russell in the Mercedes had a good performance to finish 3rd. Lando Norris comes across the line to finish 4th. Not the best race for him with Verstappen in 5th, but he did score crucial points ahead of Verstappen. Sainz was 6th, Perez was 7th, and Fernando Alonso P8 in that car. At the end of the main qualifying here in Circuit of the Americas, out in Q1 was Zhou, Lawson, Albon, Valtteri Bottas, and Franco Colapinto. Colapinto out-qualifying Albon. Isn't that a little bit interesting? Here at the end of Q2, here in Circuit of the Americas, we have Gasly and Ocon. Both of the Alpines got eliminated. Alonso was eliminated in 13th. Hulkenberg was in 12th. And Yuki Tsunoda ends up in 11th. That means Kevin Magnussen and Lance Stroll actually both make it into Q3 in the Aston Martin and the Haas. Here is your top 10 after qualifying, and Charles Leclerc is on pole by about 0.2 of a second. What a performance he put in, with Oscar Piastri in 2nd and Sergio Perez in 3rd. Carlos Sainz qualified 4th, with Lando Norris qualifying in 5th. George Russell takes 6th. Verstappen had quite a bad qualifying in 7th. K-Mag actually in 8th. Sorry, I put Hulkenberg. Didn't I say that before? I believe that's K-Mag actually. Sorry. Lewis Hamilton in 9th, and Lance Stroll rounds at the top 10. But let's get into the race for Circuit of the Americas. The 5 red lights are out as Charles Leclerc has an excellent start as he goes side by side with Piastri, and now Leclerc clears Piastri to take the lead going into turn 1. Perez is 3rd, Sainz is 4th, and Lando Norris is 5th. Verstappen and Russell are battling for 6th and 7th over here, with K-Mag in 8th. Hamilton is in 9th. Everybody's side by side, but except for Charles Leclerc, as he is a clear leader right now, as Max Verstappen and George Russell are going side by side heading into the S section, and Russell clears Verstappen to get up into 6th, and Verstappen down to 7th, with Hamilton down in 10th battling Lance Stroll. But eyes are on Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc, and maybe even Oscar Piastri. Maybe they can make this title fight nice and close, as Lando Norris is on the back of Carlos Sainz here, as Charles Leclerc has a 0.8 of a second lead going into turn 3 or 4, 6 or whatever that is, going into the back straight there. That's pretty huge for him, as Leclerc almost has a second lead now, and Norris is right on the back of Carlos Sainz, and Verstappen is right on the back of George Russell. Russell doesn't look like he has good straight line speed, but neither, Max Verstappen has pretty good straight line speed. I don't know if he's going to make the dive bomb. They are side by side. Can Max Verstappen dive bomb it into the big airpin? Looks like he does, running. Both cars actually stay in the track. That's quite interesting there. Good job for them. You can see the tires right now. Charles Leclerc to Carlos Sainz are all on mediums. Norris is on soft, so he needs a good start here. And Verstappen is on mediums, and Russell is on hards. That's probably why he didn't get good traction out of that corner there. And you can see George Russell quite frustrated as well. Alright, so currently as we run, Charles Leclerc has a commanding 28-second lead over second place Oscar Piastri here, who has a 2-second lead ahead of Norris, who just pumped in the fastest lap of the race. Very interesting here. George Russell is in 4th with Verstappen in 5th. Huge point difference between Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, and Verstappen right now in terms of the title fight. But we'll see if Verstappen can catch maybe up to Russell, or maybe Hamilton will catch up to Verstappen. But Verstappen does have the oldest tires out of everybody, but he is on hards going to the end. Norris and Russell are on medium, so we'll see. We'll see how this race ends. We're watching an overtake here from Lewis Hamilton as he overtakes. Oh, he dive bombed Max Verstappen super late, but he gets up into P5. That is huge for the championship as well. Hamilton's happy on the radio as he gets up into P5. That is massive for the championship. As we're getting near the end of the race here, look at this. Lando Norris now has DRS and Oscar Piastri for P2 as Charles Leclerc has dominated by 36 seconds. He really just said, hey, I'm in clean air. I'm absolutely gone. But, I mean, it didn't work for Sainz, the car today. Sainz is currently in 7th with Charles Leclerc in P1. But we got a battle between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, and I'm so excited. Down the back straight, can Norris make the move on Piastri? Oh, it's so close. I can't believe that Lando Norris's tires have stayed on this so long, and he gets the move done on Oscar Piastri, his younger teammate. Maybe a little bit of team orders left in there. Maybe not, because they are going to be side by side. Oh, and wow, Piastri just completely cut that corner there. I don't know if you guys saw that. That's kind of funny. But Norris up into P2 in this race as Verstappen is down into P6. That is what, 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8. That is going to be a 10-point swing if it ends up like this right now for Lando Norris. That is huge, and maybe if he pushes for fastest lap, it'll be an 11-point swing. But Lando Norris is going to have to defend here against Oscar Piastri. This is only race 1 of the remaining few races here. And yes, Charles Leclerc did win the sprint, and it looks like Charles Leclerc is going to win the race and fastest lap, but Oscar Piastri is going to be coming back on Lando as well. And Piastri, is he going to make the move stick down the inside? Looks like he is. Wow, that is impressive there for impressive driving for the two, but Norris keeps his nose in. Can he run him wide? Or will Piastri stay in? They are side by side. I'm sure Zach Brown is absolutely hating this right now, but Piastri up into P2. We are on the last lap. Charles Leclerc pretty much has won the race already. Charles Leclerc wins in Circuit of the Americas. But we're here to watch the battle between Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri as they're giving it their all. And it looks like Piastri's going to stay out in front. This is huge for the championship. That's an extra 3 points here. It looks like it's going to be for Oscar Piastri as Charles Leclerc crosses the line to win. But Piastri, what a performance. He's got the newer hard, well, I guess more, not as worn out hard tires. Hamilton does have a little bit of a mechanical problem, but Norris is going to come across the line in 3rd. He's not going to come in 2nd. I can't believe McLaren have not issued team orders here. This could be a huge blunder in terms of the championship at the end of the season. But Oscar Piastri is going to finish in P2 with the Leclerc dominance, and Lando Norris going to finish 3rd. George Russell having a great race, going to come across the line in 4th, with Lewis Hamilton coming across the line in 5th. And then we have Max Verstappen. Looks like he's going to be coming across the line in 6th, with Carlos Sainz. Not a good race for him in 7th. Sergio Perez in 8th. Yuki Tsunoda, P9. And Nico Hülkenberg in the Haas, P10. As Ferrari celebrates their win, let's take a look at the driver's standings. Lando Norris gains a crucial 7 points to Max Verstappen as Leclerc gains a crucial 11 points to Norris, and a nice, I believe that is, what, 8 points, 9 points, 10 points to Max Verstappen as well, putting Verstappen at 343. Lando Norris is at 299, and Charles Leclerc is at 279, with Oscar Piastri at 272. Doesn't look like anybody has moved positions in the standings, but Ferrari's getting super close to Red Bull in the constructors, and I believe Liam Lawson will be scoring. But Ferrari is getting super close to Red Bull in the constructors. I don't think that's going to change for anybody else. Maybe Albon, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Stroll will have a little bit of changes. But other than that, we'll see when we get to qualifying in Mexico coming right up. Okay, we have a red flag in qualifying. His home hero, Sergio Perez, just didn't know how to use a brake pedal and just went straight into the wall. Sergio Perez. Wow, dude. Wow. Major shocks here in Q1. Sergio Perez out for the Red Bull. Obviously, we saw his red flag. Zhou's out. K-Meg's out. Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes cannot get a good lap down. Unfortunate there. Look how close this was. All these cars right here. All out. Same with Liam Lawson. Everyone else moves on to Q2. At the end of Q2, this is what it's looking like. Colapinto, Gasly, Bottas doing really well in the stake. Wow, impressive. Albon and Yuki Tsunoda are out, with everyone else here making it to the top 10. Hulkenberg and Esteban Ocon, huge surprises. Even Lance Stroll as well. Good job. Apparently, we had a red flag right now because George Russell looks like he did the exact same thing as Sergio Perez. Russell on his first flying lap is out. So apparently, we're going to have to sim the rest of qualifying because I have Lewis and Russell now out of qualifying. What the heck, Mercedes? What a terrible qualifying. Looks like everybody's just going to go up for one run here. I think we're going to go on board. Who are we going to go on board with? Let's go on board with Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz we're going to go on board with, as he is currently on a lap as we take a look at the sectors. In fact, no, we're not. We're going to go on board with Charles Leclerc, as he has a purple middle sector right now. Where will this put Charles? He doesn't have the purple. Carlos Sainz now has the purple middle sector. Ocon goes fastest. Stroll goes second fastest. Norris goes up to the fastest with Piastri in second. Leclerc now goes quickest. Now we'll have to see where Carlos Sainz can go here. Leclerc and Norris, very close. Carlos Sainz, can he put it on pole? He doesn't, but he does the exact... Oh, I thought he did the exact same last time as Norris. He does not, but it is very close between the two. I think there's going to be time for one more run. We'll have to see. There is time for one more run, and Charles Leclerc is going to be the one leading it. First one in the train. He's breaking the wind. We got Leclerc with both McLarens behind him as well. I think that is Lando Norris behind him, and Piastri's behind Leclerc, and Lando Norris is behind him. This is going to be for pole as we ride on board with Charles Leclerc here in Mexico, as he got the perfect Grand Slam last weekend, pole sprint win and everything like that. Leclerc sets a purple first sector. Piastri goes green. Lando Norris goes yellow. Here we go. Leclerc in clean air. Could this be the lap to put him on pole here? We'll have to see as he's entering sector 2, the little S section here. Nobody else has gone purple so far. It'll be up to I think it'll be up to Carlos Sainz. No, it's not. Leclerc currently the fastest guy on track. He is in with one with this Ferrari right now, as he now sets the purple middle sector. Could this be one of the greatest qualifying laps of all time? We're going to have to see as he nails that apex right there. Goes super slow. I don't know if that's a little bit of an issue, but Piastri doesn't go purple. Neither does Norris. Lance Stroll doesn't go purple. Carlos Sainz is green as well. Will it be 3 purple sectors for Charles Leclerc? It's not. It is 1 yellow sector and 2 purples. Piastri goes up to P3. Norris puts that car up into second. Huge purple sector, 3 for Lando Norris. What can Carlos Sainz do? Carlos Sainz puts that car into third. Now it'll come down to Max Verstappen, one of the title favorites here. Verstappen puts his car into 5th. Wow, Lance Stroll outqualifies Fernando Alonso, who's in 7th. Ocon is in 8th, and Nico Hulkenberg 9th. But Charles Leclerc again takes pole position. Some things you just love to see. Hey, let's start the race here, guys. Let's start the Grand Prix here in Mexico with Charles Leclerc on pole and Lando Norris P2. Verstappen starting P5. This is going to be a nice, interesting one. Good getaway there for Leclerc, but is the longest run into turn 1 here, so pole kind of a curse as well, as Carlos Sainz is up into second. Holy cow. Here we go. What can Max Verstappen do, and Lando Norris? Here goes Charles Leclerc. Looks like he's going to be P1 heading into turn 1 as both McLarens go side by side. Norris once again losing positions on the first lap. Never mind, he still lost second, but at least he keeps third. And Max Verstappen does keep 5th here. Pretty good start for him. George Russell has a terrible start as he started in 10th. Lewis Hamilton also having a really bad start as he, got out in Q1 as well. Quite unfortunate there. Charles Leclerc's already a second ahead. Holy cow. It's been like 1 sector and he's already a second ahead of Carlos Sainz. 1.1. Norris is going to need as many points as possible here today, as Verstappen is in 5th. This is a perfect Red Bull track, and I think Verstappen's going to have a lot of clean air because Lance Stroll's the one behind him, so it looks like the top 5 are going to do their best to pull away. Apparently there was a crash here between Gasly and I believe this is Liam Lawson. Was there a crash? He just went off the track. Oh, a little bit of a tire bump right there, and he lost a spot there. That's a little funny. At the moment, it looks like Charles Leclerc has a nice, comfortable 1.5 second lead with Carlos Sainz in second and Lando Norris in third. Oscar Piastri is 3 seconds behind Lando Norris, so it looks like the top 3 might already be solidified for the rest of this Grand Prix. This is good for Lando Norris's title hopes as George Russell actually gets an overtake done on Max Verstappen to get up into P6 or P5, I believe this is, so that's huge. Yeah, George is hyped, as he really should be. Great overtake there. Looks like we had a small incident on Carlos Sainz lapping a car. Oh my goodness, who is this, Zhou or is this Bottas? Side by side going into the first couple of corners here. Very frustrating. Where's the blue flags on that one? Another moment that could be huge for the title as well. Lewis Hamilton ends up overtaking Max Verstappen, putting Verstappen into P7. That Red Bull just simply has no pace this weekend, but Hamilton on those soft tires might fall off near the end. We're on the final lap once more. Charles Leclerc is going through the S's for the final time here in Mexico. The upgrades that Ferrari brought in Circuit of the Americas have given them 2 straight wins, and looks like it's going to be a dominant performance again for Charles Leclerc, and a dominant performance for Ferrari as they're going to take a 1-2 here in Mexico as Leclerc is rounding through the stadium section for the final time. Charles Leclerc rounds the final corner. That's going to be another win, 2 in a row, 4th on the season for Charles Leclerc, putting his championship hopes still alive. Carlos Sainz, 10 seconds behind, does get the point for the fastest lap. He finishes P2. And Lando Norris again rounds it out. Gonna be him on the podium today. 26 seconds behind Carlos Sainz in second. McLaren are bringing upgrades for the next race apparently. So we'll see if that can do anything there. But here goes Lando Norris. Upgrades in Brazil, but it's going to be a 3rd place here in Mexico. Lando Norris finishes in P3 with Oscar Piastri finishing 4th. George Russell is going to be in 5th. Lewis Hamilton in 6th. And the woes continue. He almost getting lapped. Max Verstappen almost getting lapped there. You can see Charles Leclerc behind. Did not. The last car to be on the lead lap was Verstappen. He's going to be finishing in P7. Sergio Perez was lapped. He finished P8. Alexander Albon coming across the line now actually to finish P9 for the Williams. And Fernando Alonso going to be finishing in P10. And actually I lied. Verstappen was lapped because he is finished already. So everyone up to Hamilton was lapped. So at the end of the Mexico City Grand Prix, this is what the driver standings are looking like. Max Verstappen still has about a 30-point lead in front of Lando Norris, who only has now a 10-point lead in front of Charles Leclerc. The back-to-back wins and fast lap for Leclerc, definitely putting him up there. Oscar Piastri is in 4th still with Carlos Sainz in 5th. Hamilton and Russell are 6th and 7th. Perez is in 8th. Alonso is in 9th. Good points for Albon there to score points in the Williams to finish. I guess he finished P9. Good job for him. But huge news in the constructor standings as Ferrari now has overtaken Red Bull for P2 and McLaren now currently is in P3. This is going to be very exciting. We're going to get to the sprint race now for Brazil. Get ready. It's going to be a good one. All right, everybody, we got the 5 lights coming on for the Sao Paulo Sprint. McLaren, like I said, with their upgrades, locked out the front row as it is a Norris, Piastri 1-2, Verstappen 3, Charles Leclerc in P4 as Norris gets a good start off the line and Leclerc and Verstappen are battling. That's 2-3 in the championship right now as Norris is now in the lead. That is currently a 2-point swing between Norris and Max Verstappen, but Piastri is getting close to Norris. Verstappen is fighting Charles Leclerc right now. Our battle is going to be locked on between them two because Leclerc is in excellent form. He is grand slammed, I believe, the last 2 races in Circuit of the Americas and in Mexico, and Charles Leclerc does hold off P3 there. Verstappen up or down into 4th with Carlos Sainz in 5th, Perez in 8th. Hulkenberg, brilliant qualifying for him in 9th as we got both Mercedes battling there in P10. But all eyes are going to be on Lando Norris, see if he can close the gap, which he's been doing recently on Max Verstappen here. The virtual safety car currently is out because Lawson was battling in P14 with, I believe that is Alexander Albon or Colapinto, as he got rear-ended by his, that's Yuki Tsunoda, I believe, who rear-ended him. Teammates rear-ending each other. That's why the VSC is out. At the restart, looks like Lando Norris had a terrible restart, and the rain is starting to fall here. This could get dicey as Lando Norris is up into the lead. Piastri, it's going 3 wide into turn 1 with Leclerc and Verstappen. Oh my goodness, Leclerc somehow up into P2. Nobody has any grip because the track is getting wet. This could get very interesting, and DRS is enabled here as now Sainz and Piastri are battling, and Max Verstappen is going for the lead. No, he's not. Charles Leclerc's trying to go around the outside of Verstappen. What a move by Charles Leclerc. I'm not even supposed to commentate much on these races, but Leclerc wants the lead. Oh my goodness. What a restart we had from the virtual safety car here. I'm just practicing my commentating for when I do a World Cup in a couple weeks here. But damn, I didn't think this sprint race would be that interesting. But oh my god, we got Norris P1, Charles Leclerc running in P2, and Max Verstappen in third. The 3 title favorites all chasing down this man right here, Max Verstappen. And Leclerc and Norris looks like they're pulling away a little bit. The rain is bucketing down right now, and Lando Norris is the first one to bite on a new set of intermediates with Verstappen and Charles Leclerc battling for second and third right now. I would not be surprised if they go out this lap to fit slicks or Inter, sorry. As they are still battling for this lead. They're both staying out, actually. No, they're not. I lied. Leclerc and Piastri are going in. Looks like it's going to be for Inters. What can Verstappen do on this outlap here? This is going to be very close, and our eyes are on Lando Norris right now. He's going probably faster than everyone else on this track. Looks like Hamilton or Russell's coming, and Hamilton's staying out as well. I'm sure they don't want to double stack, and they're probably looking at the lap time right now for Lando Norris, and it's looking pretty quick. But right now, all eyes are going to be on Norris compared to Charles Leclerc. Lando Norris going down the backstretch right now. Charles Leclerc looks like he is exiting the pit lane. It's going to be really close. Norris on Inters, and will Charles Leclerc, will his in-lap or out-lap right now be good enough to take the lead away from Lando Norris? Where's Lando Norris? Norris is right here. Charles Leclerc is ahead. Charles Leclerc is going to be now in the lead of this Grand Prix with new intermediate tires. He's going to be behind a stake car of Zhou Guanyu to get those tires ready. Now, Zhou is on, obviously, mediums, and Charles Leclerc is on inters with George Russell, actually. He did an undercut, or an overcut, technically, on Lando Norris. Russell's up into P2, and Lando Norris is in P10. I guess going 1 lap early was not the play, but will it be even a better play for Verstappen and Sainz as they're both coming into the pits now? Same with Lewis Hamilton. And Sainz actually overtook Verstappen on the lap, which I didn't even notice. But now all eyes are going to be on Charles Leclerc as he's trying to weave through the field as he cannot get past the stake car of Zhou Guanyu as Russell now sends it down the inside. The Inters on the Ferrari just don't look good. They look terrible. Oh my goodness. What is going to happen here? Where they're side by side. George Russell, they both can't get past the stake car. This stake car is an absolute wall as he heads to the pits. We're 2 by 2 going into turn 1 here. What is happening in this race? All eyes are going to be on Verstappen, Hamilton, and Sainz now as they're out ahead. But Charles Leclerc has got out ahead of all of them. Charles Leclerc is out ahead of all of them. But I think Verstappen is going to be out ahead of everybody as he did a 2-lap overcut as Hamilton did not get the benefit of it. Neither did Carlos Sainz. Hamilton, oh, it is so close. It is so close between everybody. Charles Leclerc is up into P2, but Max Verstappen, oh, everybody goes wide. We have damage between Oscar Piastri. What has happened there? Oh my goodness. What just happened? Crash involving multiple cars. Let's take a look at the replay here. This is George Russell, I believe, and Oscar Piastri, as Russell just kind of goes wide, and oh, they make contact. Luckily, that wasn't Lando Norris, and Piastri's not really in the title fight here. But man, we have yellow flags, green flags are back out. But Max Verstappen, how much of a lead does he have now? Max Verstappen's got a 2-second lead. Oh my goodness, what a sprint race so far. We are now on the final lap of the sprint race here in Brazil, and what a sprint race it has been with Max Verstappen in the lead. George Russell, it's a 5-second penalty for causing that collision with Oscar Piastri there, as Charles Leclerc's trying to get the position, but I don't know if that's going to work well for him as Hamilton's right on the back of Charles Leclerc. Norris is going to be in 5th. Looks like Charles Leclerc's probably going to get promoted to P2, Hamilton 3rd, and then Lando Norris will be 4th. Maybe Sainz and Perez will get promoted up as well. But Max Verstappen, what a masterclass he really put on today here in here in Brazil in the intermediate conditions. You get a little bit of rain on in the track, and Max Verstappen just comes alive, and it looks like he's gonna win today here in Brazil. But it's gonna be quite a pretty, I guess, 3 or 4 point swing for Verstappen. So not the worst thing in the world for the title fight, but exactly not what Lando Norris needed. Charles Leclerc, I mean, Verstappen's gonna come across the line to win. Looks like the sprint race. The main race is gonna be a whole different story. I don't know if it's gonna be raining or not, but Max Verstappen does end up winning the sprint race. Looks like George Russell is gonna get well, Charles Leclerc's gonna get P2. George Russell's gonna get probably like 5th or 6th. Hamilton 3rd, and Lando Norris is gonna come across the line in 4th once George Russell's penalty is applied. Wow, what a race. As you can see, here's the final running order. Verstappen did take the win with Charles Leclerc P2, Hamilton 3rd, Lando Norris 4th. That is a 3-point swing now in the favor of Max Verstappen. That's huge for the title fight. I mean, that's a 2-point swing for Leclerc and 1 point behind Max. Sainz was 5th, Perez 6th. That dropped George Russell to 7th, and Piastri was unfortunately in 8th. We have an absolutely little bit of a damp qualifying right now here in Brazil. And it looks like absolutely nobody is going out so far, so I'll keep you updated. Everybody's going out on inters, but the sun is out and the track looks very dry at the moment. I don't know what the plan is for everybody. I mean, the track still says it is quite damp. Personally, I don't see any water on the track, so maybe it's just finally drying up, and at the end we'll be able to do a couple of runs on slicks. But yeah, we'll have to see what'll happen here in Q1. And it's looking like after the first couple of runs here, the track is dry. People are coming into their pits right now. Verstappen did do the best lap with Lando Norris in 2nd, and Oscar Piastri is in 3rd. Leclerc just came into the pits as well. It's not looking good for these guys, but I think everyone's going to put slicks on and then go do some more laps. You can see we currently got Albon on a lap. It looks like he just set the fastest lap time. Everybody's going to have to go back out on these slicks because, you know, everybody's putting out fresh times at the moment. We have Leclerc, looks like he's still on the beginning of an out lap. Sergio Perez on a lap. Kevin Magnussen is currently on the risk of being in the drop zone here. As we ride on board with Kevin coming down to the line, Perez does have the fastest first sector. Track's going to be ramping up every single time here, and we'll see what these guys can do. Perez, he's looking pretty quick. So is Lando Norris. It's literally just the end of Q1, so I mean, we'll have to see how fast everybody's going to go. But yeah, the rain definitely put a spanner in the works here. It's going to give some guys some fresh tires to use in Q2 and Q3. So out in Q1, we have Zhou Guanyu, no surprise there. Liam Lawson, Alonso actually is out. That's unfortunate for Fernando. Ocon and Lance Stroll. Bottas put in a solid lap to put that car into Q2. Very impressive there for Bottas. Alright, so out in Q2, we have Colapinto, Bottas doing well in that Sauber. Albon, K-Mag, and Tsunoda. Any surprises in Q3? Looks like Hulkenberg's in there for the Haas and Gasly in there for the Alpine, so that's very exciting for them. Track conditions in Q3 again are damp. What a qualifying we're having today, as Verstappen is going to be the first one out to test the track in Q3 as he's starting his lap right now. Everyone is again going to be on inters, so let's see what Verstappen can do in his lap here. I believe everyone else is on the track. If we take a look at sector times, yes they are, except, oh no, Carlos Sainz on the track too. So it looks like Verstappen, first one into turn 1. He just wants the cleanest track, and he just wants maybe to even put just a banker lap in. I don't know how many laps everybody's going to do here, but it could get very interesting at the end of these first runs. It could be a one and done, or it could be a set 2, 3, 4 laps, and we'll see who's the fastest. We'll have to see. Charles Leclerc actually goes faster in the first sector, but we're going to stay on board with Verstappen. All eyes are going to be on Lando Norris as well, especially for the title fight. But Verstappen is green in Sector 1. Now, I mean, Charles Leclerc's purple in Sector 1. Charles Leclerc, out of everybody, does have the fastest first sector, as everybody is on track right now, as Verstappen now sets the fastest Sector 2. But we'll have to see who will be quicker. Will it be Perez, Leclerc? Hamilton is not quicker than Verstappen. Will anybody here be quicker than Verstappen in Sector 2? As the timing screens do get lit up, and Charles Leclerc is. Not a surprise there. Verstappen goes to the top of the board. We're going to take a look at Charles Leclerc, as he's purple in Sector 1, and he's purple in Sector 2. Hamilton ends up going P2. Where will this put everybody else? Charles Leclerc across the line as Norris sets the fastest middle sector. Charles Leclerc now goes fastest. By how much? By 0.4 of a second. We're going to go on board with Lando Norris. Where's this going to put his lap? Russell goes into 3rd. Gasly's 5th. Hulkenberg 6th. Perez still in 10th. No, he's in 2nd. Great lap for Perez and a good lap for Lando Norris to put him into P2. Piastri goes up into 3rd, just behind Charles Leclerc and just behind Lando Norris. And now Sainz is up into P3 as he does the exact same lap time as Norris. Wow. Wow. Looks like everybody is doing their everybody's doing their in-lap or out-laps right now. Charles Leclerc is on an in-lap. He couldn't improve. Russell currently is on a fast lap. Is he improving at all? I don't know. It looks like the track is getting worse and worse. It's probably going to look like it's going to be a Charles Leclerc pole, maybe. It's going to be hard to tell. Can Russell improve at all on his lap? It says he's on his fastest lap at the moment. Looks like now he's just starting his fastest lap. I mean, I don't know how accurate all of this is. We'll have to see at the end of qualifying. And it looks like absolutely nobody improved after their first run, so that's going to put Charles Leclerc on pole with Norris 2nd, Sainz 3rd, Verstappen down to 6th. Huge for the title fight. Russell and Hamilton at P7 and P8. It's a wet one here in Interlagos. Once again, the weather has been brutal this weekend, but the 5 red lights are out and Charles Leclerc in the lead. Heading into turn 1, he gets a good getaway, but Norris had a better one as Lando Norris down the inside in turn 1. Looks like he's going to take the lead. Once again, major championship implications here as George Russell's up in his 6th, but Lando Norris in the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix to start. Charles Leclerc is in the wheel tracks right now of Lando Norris. Is he going to make a dive bomb into turn 1 here? Or after turn 1? I forget where they are on the track. No, he does not, but he's very close to Lando Norris. Looks like he's going to be making a move very soon. Heading into turn 2, Charles Leclerc is now side by side with Lando Norris. Can he make the move stick? Very close here. Charles Leclerc wants the win. So does Lando. So does Carlos in 3rd. Verstappen is kind of flopping right now in P7. He's still behind Perez. But look at Carlos Sainz. Sainz up into P2. That is huge. What a move for Carlos Sainz to drop Lando Norris back down into 3rd. We're on board with Lando Norris right now as he's trying to make a move with Charles Leclerc. As he did dispatch Sainz, and Leclerc, Sainz, Norris, they've been swapping for the lead every so often. But Leclerc and Norris, they're still battling. They both want this win for their title fight here. Lando Norris is not staying within the DRS of Leclerc, or the slipstream, and he just kind of let him be. That was really weird driving there for Lando. Looks like the track is drying, and we have an incident between Carlos Sainz and who? I saw yellow flags. Who's it going to be? And Piastri. What the heck did he just do? Piastri just took himself and Carlos Sainz out of the contention for this race. Now it's going to be between Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris. Track is now getting damp once again here as Leclerc and Norris still battling for the lead. I don't think DRS is disabled, but who caused the collision? Piastri? Piastri has the penalty. Sainz is in the pits. Looks like he didn't retire the car, surprisingly. But Leclerc and Norris still battling for the lead. That moves Verstappen up to 3rd now. He's having a pretty, not quiet race as Russell's right behind him, but quiet for Verstappen's liking. This is the battle that's been brewing for lap after lap. Russell and Verstappen. Look at George Russell with the rear view cam get the move done on Verstappen into turn 1 with Perez right behind him there. Good job there for George Russell. While trying to overtake, I believe that's Lance Stroll, Charles Leclerc actually had a spin. That is huge. He was in the lead of the Grand Prix. Lando Norris just passed him, and now Lando Norris just went in for a pit stop. Unbelievable. That is so unfortunate for Leclerc right there. After the spin Charles Leclerc had, he's still staying out on the original set of inters, while Lando Norris is out there by himself as well in clean air. It's going to be a fight between these two, but who can take the win here today? Verstappen and Perez have also stayed out as well, so maybe Perez will be a big blocker here for Verstappen and Norris here. Charles Leclerc just came out of the pits, and he is well behind Lando Norris. If we take a look at the interval, he's 5 seconds behind the net race leader, so it looks like Lando Norris is probably going to start running away with this. After the one and only pit stop, really, Perez went the entire race besides 15 laps. Here is the running order with Lando Norris in the lead, 7 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc. What a performance he's put on today. That spin for Leclerc obviously did not help. But Russell, currently in a podium spot, he's driving very well. Verstappen is on the hunt. If you can see the tire graphic, he has much better tires. So maybe with 15 laps to go, Verstappen could get into a podium place here. Hamilton, he's on the hunt as well. So is Sergio Perez. He's on the newest tires, 92%. But we'll see how this will come down. Looks like Piastri and Sainz are going to lock 7th and 8th, even with their damage. Hulkenberg's going to secure a 9th most likely, and looks like Albon might have a nice P10 in the bag. Today was a day that has gone the way of Lando Norris. He's on the final lap here, heading down the main straight for the final time, or the second straight for the final time, with a commanding 5-second lead over Charles Leclerc, who did have a spin earlier on, and I'm sure without that spin he would have been close. He's probably going to end up P2, and looks like George Russell is going to end up 3rd here. Verstappen with a very good recovery drive from P7 to P4, with Perez in P5, helped out by the collision that we had between Piastri and Carlos Sainz. But more importantly, like I said before, Leclerc did get the point. Looks like he's going to get the point for the fastest lap. But Lando Norris is definitely going to be taking a bow. Give it a couple more laps. I think Charles Leclerc would have had the pace to catch him. He is using more tire than Norris, but Lando Norris is just going to bring it home as he rounds the final corner, and this championship is back on. Lando Norris is going to win here in Brazil. What a performance from him. Charles Leclerc going to come across the line P2 after 2 consecutive wins, and George Russell, another great performance for him. George Russell going to finish in 3rd, with Max Verstappen coming across the line in 4th, Perez in 5th, Lewis Hamilton in 6th, as Russell just has a mechanical fault, that's funny. Oscar Piastri in P7. Carlos Sainz was lapped, unfortunately, with the damage he had. He's in P8 still. That's funny. Nico Hulkenberg a P9, and it looks like Yuki Tsunoda for RB is going to get the point for P10 as Albon has dropped off drastically. Let's take a look at their tires. Yeah, big tire difference there between Yuki and him there. Okay, so after Brazil, the title fight is getting closer and closer. Max Verstappen has 369 points to Lando Norris's 344, which is a 14-point lead in front of Charles Leclerc in 3rd. I don't believe anybody else on this grid. I think maybe besides Piastri is mathematically in this title fight, but it's really going to be down to Verstappen, Norris, and Charles Leclerc. Nobody has switched any positions yet, but McLaren is in the lead for the constructors. Ferrari is in P2, and they're pulling away from Red Bull in 3rd. But now, guys, we are going to one of my favorite tracks, which is Las Vegas. All right, we're watching qualifying Q1 here. Looks like Bottas has a little bit of an incident, goes a little bit wide, and just hits the barrier a little bit, causing a yellow flag. No red flag, though, so nothing crazy. Oh, I lied, and we ended up having a red flag here in this qualifying session. About a minute later, Yuki Tsunoda completely binned it. Good job, Yuki. Alright, so at the end of Q1, looks like we have Tsunoda. Obviously, he crashed. He's out. Joe still got to qualify by Bottas, even though we saw Bottas hit the wall. Gasly and Kevin Magnussen. So yeah, nothing really too interesting here. So we're watching Albon here in Q2. Looks like he had a little bit of an incident coming up on the replays. Same thing that looks like, yeah, exactly same thing that Bottas did earlier. So there's probably not a lot of grip in that corner. The end of Q2 is going to look like this. Who's going to be eliminated? It looks like it's going to be Alexander Albon, Esteban Ocon, Franco Colapinto just outqualified Albon again. He's been phenomenal so far. Lance Stroll in 12th, and Liam Lawson in the RB as he replaced Ricciardo. Going to be in 11th here. Great job for him considering Tsunoda did crash out, but I guess that RB did have pace. And here is your top 10. We're going to see what they're going to do in Q3. At the end of everybody's fast laps, you can see Leclerc currently is in the lead here. He's been fastest with Norris right behind him, Sainz behind him as well, and Verstappen 4th. He's quicker than Piastri. Then it goes to Perez, Alonso, Hulkenberg, and then both Mercedes, which were pretty slow. So we're going to get to the final lap soon and see what happens at the end of quali here. So here's the end of quali. At the end, Oscar Piastri ended up putting a phenomenal lap in to be 3/10 ahead of Leclerc in P2 and Sainz in 3rd. Norris had quite of a scruffy last lap. He's 4th with Verstappen 5th. Huge for the title here. Russell put that car up into 6th, Perez 7th. Lewis Hamilton is in 8th, Alonso's 9th, and Nico Hulkenberg's 10th. So now, guys, let's get to the race. Here we got the 5 red lights for the Vegas Grand Prix. We're going to have to see who gets a good start here. Will it be Oscar Piastri? Will it be Charles Leclerc? It looks like Oscar Piastri got the good start. Looks like Norris got an even better start as he's up in the 3rd. He overtook Sainz. And Russell got a good start overtaking Max Verstappen. That's huge for the title. But we're side by side with Sainz and Lando Norris right now. But Sainz does get up into 3rd. Norris goes back down to 4th as Russell and Verstappen now are battling for the 5th position here. This could be huge, and Verstappen ends up sliding in behind George Russell. What a start for the race here as Piastri ends up taking the lead with Leclerc in 2nd. Norris had actually a good start for the first time, I believe, since Singapore, where in real life he actually held the lead and kept the lead, so that's good for him there. Seems like we had a little bit of an incident with Lewis Hamilton here as he's battling Fernando Alonso, and I believe that's Liam Lawson. Oh my goodness, Alonso just put him in the wall. That's crazy. I don't think I've seen that in the F1 game yet. You can see the Mercedes pit crew's not happy about that one either. That's hilarious. We currently have a red flag. Alexander Albon did something. Oh, no, never mind. It wasn't Albon's fault. There was just a big pileup between everybody. That ended up causing a red flag, which is, that'll be very exciting. And you can see, once the red flag has happened here, Norris and Piastri are now 1-2 on the grid. So they had very excellent race pace. Verstappen's up to third. Both Ferraris dropped down a little bit as well. But we're going to get a restart once again here. As Hamilton's 17th, he had to pit for a wing change. Russell's in 6th. But yeah, we'll see what happens at the end of this race, or maybe there'll be another red flag. We'll have to see, but both McLarens are going side by side. Now, turn 1 as Leclerc just absolutely dummied Verstappen. Ocon got a 10-second penalty there. I guess he was the one who caused the collision, but he's all out. Colapinto, Ocon, and Albon all out of this race. That's unfortunate for them, but Norris is in the lead, but it's going to be a drag race between him and Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc. Verstappen got a terrible getaway, and now he's even being under pressure by his teammate Sergio Perez as Leclerc got up the second. Oh, no, he hasn't yet. He's close to second. Yes, he is up in the second. Leclerc's up in the second. Verstappen and Perez are battling for 4th here, but Norris is going to do his best to get away. For the second time in this Grand Prix, we have another red flag. It looks like it's George Russell who hits the wall after battling Carlos Sainz. This is the second red flag in this Grand Prix. Oh my goodness. What is happening today? This Vegas Grand Prix is insane. We're getting ready for another restart as Norris in the lead. Verstappen's in second. Leclerc does not have the race pace, it looks like, in the Ferrari as both Red Bulls ended up overtaking him. Let's get another restart going for I believe this is the third restart of this Grand Prix as Norris does end up keeping the lead and Verstappen and Perez in second and third. Leclerc is in 4th with Sainz somehow still in this Grand Prix after being caught up in like 3 incidents already, and we have 4 DNFs. But yeah, Norris is in the lead once again. Hamilton looks like he's going to be going to the end on these hard tires. I don't know how this is going to work for him, but we'll have to see. Lap 1 here, Norris and Verstappen battling. Verstappen dive bombs Lando Norris to take the lead here on lap 18. We got over half of this race to go still. Verstappen is on softs, Norris is on mediums. Let's see if anybody did change tires this pit stop. Verstappen did change tires, so did Leclerc, so did Perez. Looks like Perez is going to go to the end, I believe, on hard. Same with Alonso, Hulkenberg. The results for this race could get shaken up drastically. This will be very exciting. Looks like we have an incident with Kevin Magnussen as he's battling Lewis Hamilton. No, he's battling his teammate Nico Hulkenberg. What's happened here? Oh, a little bit of wing damage for them there. The weird physics engine there for F1 Manager as well. Okay, so the virtual safety car is out right now because of Yuki Tsunoda. I don't know what happened. Oh, he just clipped the wall or something? This is crazy. Also, both Haas drivers did end up retiring after that. That little incident that they had. As you can see, Tsunoda, K-Mag, Hulkenberg, Russell, Colapinto, Ocon, and Albon are out of this race. So that's crazy. We have 15 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Norris still has about over half of his tire life left, with Verstappen quite a ways away behind him and Leclerc even farther behind. It's a 12-second gap between the two. I don't know if Verstappen can end up closing the gap in time, or can Charles Leclerc or Lando Norris close the gap. We'll have to see. It'll be very close to the end of this Grand Prix. I don't think Norris is going to pit, but if he does, then he'll be on fresh mediums like Piastri will be to the end. So we'll see. This will be very close. 8 laps to go. Lando Norris could not stretch his tires to the end. He had to pit, and now he's 12 seconds behind the leader on brand new softs. We got Leclerc and Verstappen battling for the lead of this Grand Prix. Both of their tires are absolutely gone. Leclerc's on fresher hards compared to Verstappen's more worn mediums. So this could be a win for Leclerc here. But if anything, I think it's a massive strategy blunder for McLaren. This could be terrible in terms of Lando Norris's title chances. On the final lap of this Grand Prix, as Leclerc and Verstappen are still battling like absolute, it's crazy right now. It's absolute mayhem. It looks like Lando Norris could not have caught the leader. He ended up losing time somehow as Leclerc and Verstappen are pushing like absolute hell right now. Leclerc is on fresher mediums. All he needs is good traction coming out of this corner, but Verstappen still kept keeping his medium tires as good as they possibly can. They're under 50% and Leclerc's are 70, but that Red Bull in the hands of Verstappen is really quick today. And it looks like he's probably going to take the win as Leclerc is in the lead heading into the final. I believe this is the final straight here, if I'm not mistaken. It looks, it's the big straight, so it'll be close. It'll be very close to see who will take the lead between Verstappen and Leclerc, as Leclerc's looking like he's going to shut the door. Oh, it's so tight. Verstappen is within the DRS and slipstream. This is, if there's any spot to overtake on this track, it's going to be here. What can Leclerc fight back? It doesn't look like. It looks like Verstappen has taken the lead on the final lap. Leclerc had nothing in defense. Verstappen has nursed those medium tires the entire way, and I believe Leclerc is trying to fight back. I don't think he's going to be close enough here, but once again, I think today it's a drag race to the line actually, but it looks like Max Verstappen with a masterclass in tire management today is going to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix again with Charles Leclerc right behind. Huge race for them. Oscar Piastri takes the podium. Lando Norris with a terrible strategy from McLaren ends up finishing 4th. That is horrible for his title bid. In fact, it might even be over at this point. Carlos Sainz is going to come across the line in 5th. After a massive race of attrition for him. Hamilton and Perez battling for 6th here. Let's give Hamilton all the battery that he wants. Give it everything, Lewis. Give it everything, Lewis. Let's see if he can drag race Perez down to the line here. I doubt it, but it's going to be close. Perez in 6th, Hamilton in 7th. Alonso coming across the line in 8th. Lance Stroll coming across the line in P9. And Liam Lawson ends up surviving this Grand Prix to finish in P10. Bottas was so close. P11 for Valtteri Bottas. So close for him. What a shame for Bottas, man. And at the end of the Grand Prix in Las Vegas, Verstappen's lead is getting big with 2 rounds to go in a sprint race. It's still possible for Norris. It's looking very unlikely for Charles Leclerc, but it is still very possible. With Liam Lawson's points as well, he gained 3 positions to go up to P20. Bottas is now ahead of Zhou Guanyu, and that means Logan Sargent is now dead last in the standings. But man, guys, I don't know if it's not looking good for Norris. It's looking good for Verstappen, but once again, Qatar is a great race. So was Abu Dhabi for that McLaren car, and I know they're bringing upgrades. So was Ferrari. I believe every team's bringing upgrades to the next race. So yeah, we'll see what happens in qualifying. Alright everybody, it's sprint race time here in Qatar. Looks like Charles Leclerc's on pole with Lando Norris in 2nd. I think that's Sainz in 3rd and Oscar Piastri in P4. Exactly what it was. Verstappen and Red Bull have not had the pace this weekend, so this could be huge in terms of the title fight. But here goes Lando Norris heading into turn 1 as he's in the lead. Oscar Piastri is up into P2. What a great start for the young Australian. Charles Leclerc's in 3rd with Lewis Hamilton in 4th, battling Carlos Sainz for 5th with Perez in 6th, and Max Verstappen running in P7 at the moment. Looks like Albon, I believe that's Hulkenberg, had an incident here in the sprint race. Oh, that was a little straight. A little bit of Tokyo drifting over here in Qatar. That's quite interesting. We're currently on the final lap here in the Qatar sprint race, and it's been quite a boring one. Nothing much has happened. Yes, we have a few lapped cars here, but Norris has dominated with Piastri running in P2. Looks like McLaren's got the best car in race pace this weekend with Charles Leclerc. He's running in 3rd. Carlos Sainz is running in 4th, excuse me. Lewis Hamilton is currently running in 5th with George Russell in 6th. And Max Verstappen actually down into P7. Not a good race for Red Bull so far this weekend. In fact, even Alonso is up there in 8th. He's ahead of Sergio Perez. But this is going to be a massive, I believe, well, not massive. It's going to be a 6-point swing, it looks like, for Lando Norris here in the Qatar sprint race. So that's very good for him, as he's probably going to come across the line. Let's put this, oh, that's 16 speed. Let's put this up into 2 speed real quick as we watch Lando Norris win the sprint race in Qatar. As, oh, Leclerc actually got quite close to Oscar Piastri. As Sainz is 4th with Hamilton 5th. George Russell in P6 with Verstappen. Unfortunate for him, stuck in traffic there. As you can see, I believe that's Zhou or Bottas. He's going to come across the line in P7. All right, out in Q1 here, looks like we have a bunch of guys with grid penalties also. Hulkenberg, Ocon, and Colapinto. But we have Zhou, Bottas, Colapinto, Gasly, and Albon being eliminated. Looks like Williams and Sauber have the worst cars this weekend, which is quite unfortunate for them. Looks like it's 2x2 here in Q2 as the top 10 of the top 5 teams. We got K-Mag, Tsunoda, Lawson, Ocon, and Hulkenberg all being knocked out as Stroll, Alonso, we got Perez, Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, Norris, Piastri, Hamilton, and Russell all making it into Q3. Here at the end of the Qatar qualifying, Lando Norris does end up taking pole with Leclerc second, Piastri's third, Sainz fourth. Lewis Hamilton is actually up into fifth. He put in a good lap. Verstappen kind of outperformed the car in sixth. Russell seventh, Perez eighth, and Alonso and Stroll round out the top 10. So let's get into the race here. Alrighty, 5 red lights coming on for Qatar as Lando Norris needs a big weekend and Verstappen, and even Leclerc needs a big weekend as well, but Verstappen needs an absolute stinker to have this title fight go down to Abu Dhabi here as Norris gets a great getaway. Hamilton and Verstappen, Verstappen's up into 5th. That's not good for Lando Norris here. No, Hamilton's back up to 5th. Lando Norris is in the lead with Piastri in P2. It's a perfect start for McLaren, just like the sprint race was yesterday. Charles Leclerc is in 3rd. We have yellow flags in the back. What's going on here? Oh, we got Liam Lawson in the gravel. What's happened with Liam Lawson here? Oh, he just absolutely binned it. That's completely on Liam Lawson there. Yeah, he did say sorry. He must be Canadian or something, because that's something we would say. But yeah, Norris in the lead. I think Lawson's going to get out of it here. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he's already out of it. So yellow flag should be gone. And yeah, I'll just keep you guys updated with what else happens in this race. Alright, so after the first round of pit stops here, looks like Leclerc and Norris both started on mediums. Now they're on softs. Leclerc looks like he got an overcut somehow. I don't know how it's even possible at this track to get ahead of Norris in 2nd. Oscar Piastri currently running in 3rd. He pitted a little bit earlier to go onto medium, so he'll be quicker at the end of the stint. Leclerc and Norris are the only two on softs, I believe. Yeah, they are. Carlos Sainz is on hards. Many different strategies here. Hamilton is on medium. So is George Russell, 6th, 7th. Verstappen is 14 seconds behind them. I don't know what's going on with this Red Bull's race pace today, but it's absolute garbage. Perez is down in 8th with Alonso in 9th, Stroll in 10th. Everyone else is already a lap down. They're just slow as heck. But the real battle is between Norris and Leclerc. As you can see, Norris did just overtake Charles Leclerc for the lead of the Grand Prix. We'll see Piastri and maybe Sainz close up later, but well, maybe or not. We'll have to see about that. Apparently, we have a crash between Charles Leclerc here. What has happened? Looks like he's overlapping or lapping a car, and he just gets damn. What the heck was that? What are the lap cars doing here, man? Don't they know there's a title fight going on? That is so unfortunate for Leclerc here. We're here on the last lap of the Grand Prix, and it doesn't look like it is going to be close at all, as Lando Norris somehow kept these tires in a decent window. I mean, he kept them at 44% on the last lap to end up. He's going to come around to win here in Qatar. This is exactly what Lando Norris needed. Yes, a fastest lap time would have been good, but Sainz did end up abandoning his one stop to go on to a 2-stop. But Lando Norris wins in Qatar, does exactly what he needs to do. Charles Leclerc with that damage from the back markers. Terrible driving there from Snowden Lawson. Almost another incident there with, I believe that was Albon. Charles Leclerc is going to come across the line in P2. Helps his title fight just ever so slightly. And Piastri, 10 seconds behind Leclerc, fell off near the end of the race. He's going to come across the line in 3rd. Carlos Sainz in Ferrari is going to finish 4th with Russell in 5th. Lewis Hamilton in 6th. Max Verstappen was lapped today. Unfortunate, the Red Bull had absolutely nothing for the McLarens or the Ferraris today. Verstappen, unfortunately, is going to finish 7th. Sergio Perez is going to come across the line in 8th. Alonso in 9th. He's literally just getting lapped again by Lando Norris. And Lance Stroll going to round out the points in P10. If you guys do end up taking a look at the standings, looks like Charles Leclerc has 30 points behind Verstappen heading into the final race, so he's mathematically eliminated. He can still get P2, though, from Lando Norris, but Lando Norris is 13 points behind Max Verstappen. So we're going to go into Abu Dhabi with a so-called title decider, but, I mean, maybe he'll be able to do it, but it's going to be very close for Norris. Norris has to win the race, maybe get fastest lap, and Verstappen's got to finish like 8th or lower. So yeah, we'll have to see how this goes, but good luck, Lando. Alright, so in Abu Dhabi, out in Q1 is Zhou, Colapinto, Gasly, Bottas, and Liam Lawson. So let's move on to Q2. Alrighty, so out in Q2, we have Kevin Magnussen, Esteban Ocon, Tsunoda, Albon, and Hulkenberg, who actually just missed Q3. And then we got the same 5 teams again like last race in the top 10. And at the end of qualifying, ends up being Charles Leclerc on pole barely by over Lando Norris with Piastri in 3rd and Carlos Sainz in 4th. Hamilton's 5th. Perez is 6th, out-qualifying Verstappen. Look at that. Verstappen 7th, Russell's 8th, Alonso's 9th, and Lance Stroll is in P10. Currently at the moment, Lando Norris, if it stays like this, would be scoring 18 points, and Verstappen would be scoring... That would be a 12-point swing for Lando Norris. So Lando Norris has to win if Verstappen. If Max Verstappen finishes anything higher than 5th, he wins a championship. I believe if Norris wins with the fastest lap and Verstappen finishes 5th, Norris wins the championship. So yeah, let's see what will happen. But here we go. It's the final race of the season. We got the 5 lights coming on for Abu Dhabi. Verstappen needs to finish above 5th. Norris literally pretty much has to win this race with fastest lap as Norris gets an excellent start. Holy cow, and he takes the lead away from Charles Leclerc. This is exactly what he has to do, and Verstappen has a bad start. He's fighting George Russell right now, and he's fighting Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. Not a good start for Verstappen. Perfect start for McLaren as they currently are 1-2 with Charles Leclerc in 3rd. Perez is up to 4th. He got an excellent start. What a start there from Sergio Perez. Sainz is in 5th. Hamilton 6th with Verstappen in P8. That's not what he wanted, but also not what Lando Norris wanted. As his teammate Oscar Piastri's like, screw your championship. I'm going for this win. This could be huge again for the title. Look at Oscar Piastri go. I did not think they would. I mean, if I were McLaren, I'd be given insane team orders right now, and these team orders are not helping him at all. Verstappen does move up into 7th. He overtakes George Russell today, or on that back straight, but all eyes are going to be on the Verstappen versus Lando Norris battle. This is going to be intense. There currently is a major battle going on between George Russell and Max Verstappen for 6th and 7th place here with Lewis Hamilton in it as well. Russell is holding up Verstappen like crazy. I don't think Mercedes wants Verstappen to win this title. I wouldn't be surprised after what happened in 2021, but Verstappen is up into 6th, but they're probably going to keep swapping positions here as Norris and Leclerc now are battling for 2nd. This is exactly what Lando Norris needs. He's up into P2. Now he can go after Piastri now to fight for the lead of the Grand Prix. But Russell is going to fight back on Verstappen. The DRS is very overpowered here in Abu Dhabi today. And Russell back up into P6. I believe as it stands right now, Norris would be winning the driver's title. But we'll have to see. I mean, if Norris would love the extra fastest lap point, but we'll have to see what will happen near the end of the race. We're only 10 laps in. We're about... I believe we're about like 8 or 9% through this race, or maybe 10% through this race. But yeah, let's keep going. Looks like Charles Leclerc is the first of the leaders to come into the pits. I can't see what tire he's put on. I thought it was going to be a one-stop today. I believe those are hards, if I'm not mistaken. I believe those are hards. Charles Leclerc, oh wait, that's Piastri. Piastri was the first of, oh, okay. Charles Leclerc is on mediums. Piastri is on mediums as well. And it looks like the overcut did not work for Leclerc, but he still is very close to Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris should be coming in on the next lap. I believe he's on hards. He is on hards, so he won't be coming in. But yeah, we'll have to see what will happen here. Verstappen is behind now Russell and Hamilton and Perez as well. So it's going to be close here at the end of the Grand Prix. Lando Norris, the only one who's started on hard tires to still keep going, is finally coming in for his final pit stop. As we have Piastri literally about to take the lead. He's going to have almost a whole pit stop advantage ahead of Lando Norris here. I don't know what Norris is doing with the strategy, but Leclerc currently now in 2nd. Verstappen, he's on hards. He's probably going to the end. I believe he's still going to be way behind Lando Norris as Norris coming out of the pits on mediums to go to the end. I'm not sure if Piastri and Leclerc can make it to the end on these tires. It'll be very close. They might be doing a 2-stop, which would be interesting. I believe they both started on mediums, so yeah, they're going to have to do a 2-stop, but they're just going to push as much as they can and get as far away from Norris as possible, as Norris is going to try and make this 1-stop work. So is Carlos Sainz. He's going to try and make a 1-stop work. Same with Verstappen and Russell and Perez and Russell and Lewis Hamilton. Everybody here trying to make a 1-stop work. Will it work? We have no idea. It seems like now with 12 laps to go, everybody has finished their final rounds of pit stops as Hulkenberg's coming in, but who cares about that? Norris has how much tire life? He's got 80% tire life left. He's got 12 laps to go. He has a 21-second lead ahead of Leclerc and a 8-second lead in front of Oscar Piastri. This could be massive. Lando Norris, I believe he needs the fastest lap here, else they're going to be tied, and Verstappen will win the title with having more wins this year than Max Verstappen. But Norris is in 1st. Carlos Sainz is in P2 currently. Oscar Piastri is in 3rd. Charles Leclerc is going full crazy mode on hards to the end of this race as we have a yellow flag. What will this be? In Sector 3, I want to know what this yellow flag is. It's still out. It looks like it's something a little funny. It's a little spin for Tsunoda. Okay, nothing crazy. No safety car, looks like. But we got 11 laps to go. Verstappen's down to 6th. As it stands, this could be the title right now for Lando Norris. But we're going to go to the end and see what happens on the final lap. Verstappen just came into the pits one more time. He's pitting again. He thinks does Max Verstappen think he can catch up to Hamilton and Russell with a couple laps to go and set the fastest lap for this title? I think Verstappen knew his title chances were over, so he's got to go absolute full push now. He's got to claim fastest lap and everything right now. Oh my goodness, this could be so close to the end of this Grand Prix. 2 laps to go. Verstappen has set the fastest lap, and he's currently 4 seconds behind Russell, and he's 3 seconds behind Hamilton. I don't think this is going to be enough. I think it's going to end up in Norris's day today. We're on the final lap right now. Lando Norris, he has rounded the first corner, but we're going to stay on board with Verstappen as he's absolutely flying. His tires are working very well, and Hamilton and Russell currently at the moment right now are lapping some lap traffic. Verstappen's 2.8 behind. He's giving it everything. He's going 2.6. He's catching so fast. What are these tires? What are his tires on right now? I don't even know. Okay, Russell's tires are absolutely gone. So are Hamilton's. Verstappen's on pretty fresh mediums, as we know. But it's going to be close. What's the interval right now? Interval is 2.2. Russell is going absolutely crazy. We have a battle between Sainz and Piastri right now in the final lap for third. Leclerc had a terrible final race. What a dumb strategy for Ferrari to put him on a 2-stop. Why the heck would they ever do that? Lando Norris on the 1-stop strategy. Looks like it was the faster strategy of the day, as Verstappen is right behind George Russell. He's probably going to overtake him here on this last lap. But on the final lap, we got Lando Norris in the final sector of this final lap. He's done absolutely everything we can. I don't think he's trying to set a fastest lap right now. No, he's got 2 yellow sectors, but it's going to be very close. What's the interval? Russell is right. Wow, Russell is barely holding on to this position here. But we're going to watch Lando Norris. I mean, where's Verstappen? He's on the DRS. Holy cow. But Norris, going around the final corner, doing everything he can. At the moment, it looks like he's going to win the title. But Max Verstappen is in 6th with the fastest lap. I don't think it's going to be enough. I'll have to double check the math later. Hamilton is 5 seconds ahead of Verstappen, doing everything he can to hold off and let Norris win this title. Lando Norris wins, but we're going to stay on board with Verstappen as Piastri is going to come across the line, I believe, in 2nd. Carlos Sainz is 3rd. Charles Leclerc, probably one of the worst races he's had in a while, being outperformed by Carlos Sainz. Verstappen is 4.2, giving it everything that he can. Maybe give it a couple extra laps. I think he probably could have got up into 5th with the fastest lap, but it doesn't look like he's going to do it. Hamilton has given it everything that he can as well. He's going to come across the line to finish in 5th, and it looks like Verstappen going to come across the line in 6th. Unfortunate for Verstappen. I'm going to have to double check the math like I said, but I believe Lando Norris is going to be the World Drivers' Champion. What a performance by McLaren and Lando, but like I said, gonna double check the math and get back to all of you guys. And currently, as it stands, Lando Norris is your World Drivers' Champion by 3 points. It was so close, everybody. I hope you did enjoy this small little mini series video that I did. Lando Norris took the championship with 414 points to Max Verstappen's 411. Charles Leclerc was close, 384 points, cannot take the lead. It was really down to that Vegas Grand Prix. He needed those couple extra points to get in there. Oscar Piastri finishes 4th in the McLaren. Sainz was 5th. Hamilton 6th, Russell 7th, Sergio Perez P8, Alonso 9, Stroll 10, ended up passing Hulkenberg on the very last race. Tsunoda was 12th with Albon 13th, Gasly's 14th, Ricciardo's 14th, even though he didn't even race the second half of the season. Gasly's 15th, Behrman 16th, K-Mag 17th, Ocon 18th, Colapinto P19. Liam Lawson did end up scoring a point, impressive for him, in P20, with Bottas 21st, Zhou 22nd, and Sargent 23rd. McLaren did the double. They won the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship by almost 100 points ahead of Ferrari in P2 and Red Bull in P3. Mercedes was 4th, with Aston Martin going over the 100-point mark in 5th. RB 6th, Haas 7th, Williams 8th, Alpine 9th, and Sauber in P10. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, hit that like button and subscribe, share with your friends, join the Discord, links in the description down below. I have a big 10-part series coming up, so you guys are going to want to stay tuned for that. With that being said, see you guys next time.